Hi, everyone. Sorry I had to miss class today just to take care of a technical problem going on here in the building. But I wanted to make sure that we touch base today and maybe took a look at what I asked you to do last night and in class yesterday. So we were going to make that address book, and we wanted to lay out some information about you, your name, your address, your phone number, your email, gender, date of birth, ethnicity, Instagram, username, and your favorite ice cream flavor. All right. Many of you, I did poke around in your address book files, and it looks like some of you did a really nice job. And some of us still have some work to do, which is fine. We're still learning. So maybe some thoughts for you here today. First, I will say that for some of you, maybe your spreadsheet looked a little bit like this. And some of you stacked up your information here in the first column of your spreadsheet. We could do that. But I will tell you that later on, let's say I had another, I'm just going to copy this for a second. If we had another couple of people in here, if we were to add more students to our list, this kind of working your way down the column for each person is not going to work out very well for you. Later on, this will make more sense when we do some more things, but this is probably not the best way of doing it, and we'll see why in a little while. So I'm going to recommend that if you if you organize your information like this, that perhaps you don't want to do like all of your information in one column. You probably want to have all your information in one row. Right? That's going to probably make a little bit more sense for you there. Right? So you're going to want to come back here to this first one, and here I have all of my information in one row. Okay. Right. Something you may have noticed, right? When you're typing and working in the spreadsheet, this doesn't act quite like Word or Google Docs, right? Here's maybe some differences you might have noticed, right? So when you start to type, some of you may have double-clicked to try to get yourself a cursor there that will actually let you type there. You can. You don't have to. If you just click on a cell, so I'm on cell A2 there, you can just start typing. You just start typing. When you are done, notice all I did was stop typing. I didn't click anything and do anything. Do you see the cursor still blinking there? Right? One of the things about a spreadsheet is that as you're entering data, you're going to need to tell the spreadsheet, yep, I'm done in that cell. I'm finished, before it lets you move on to the next cell. I bet that if I even open up some of these menus, I know in Excel it does this. If you are still working in a cell like this and you try to open up a menus, a lot of options become grayed out. They want you to stop working on that cell first before you move on to anything else. How do we do that? You can do a couple of things. I would recommend either hitting the Enter key, right? Notice the blinking cursor goes away, or you can hit the Tab key. The Tab key will just move you one column to the right. So if you want to move one column down, you can hit Enter. Right? And if you want to move one column to the right, you can hit Tab and go across the spreadsheet like that. Okay? So I have to be honest, I do this a lot. Right? So when I am typing here, I will hit Tab and then go to my address, then hit Tab again, and now I'm ready for my phone number. I'm ready for my email. So I like to work across the spreadsheet like that using tabs to kind of jump from different cells. Okay. Let's say for the sake of argument, you made a mistake here in your phone number. You can do one of two things to edit that. If you just click on any of the cells and just start typing again, you can overwrite whatever was there. We'll delete whatever was there and completely overwrite it. Now I'll hit Enter to commit that. Right? So you don't have to click on a cell, hit delete, and then type. You can literally just go right on top of it, just click on the cell and start typing, and it will overwrite it, which is kind of nice. Okay. The other thing you can do, let's say I made a mistake on my phone number. It's not 1234, it's 1235, but I don't want to delete the whole thing and type it over. If you double click the cell again, hey, look, you got a blinking cursor now. And now it will kind of work a little bit like Word. You can move the cursor around and go from there. So there are two ways to edit a cell. If you want to just edit but not erase the whole thing, double click the cell and you'll get a cursor, and then you can retype whatever you need. Okay. Or if you want to completely overwrite what's there, you can just click on the cell and start typing, and you can be able to add your text in there. Okay. So maybe a couple of things for you on your spreadsheet. First, I'd like you to be able to rework your spreadsheet so that you don't have the information stacked up here in the first column, but that it goes across. That would be a better way to organize your spreadsheet. Okay. All right. Secondly, something you might want to do on the spreadsheet here, if you notice, my email address got cut off. My address got cut off. In fact, my name got cut off. Someone also pointed out to me someone also emailed me last night about this and saying that when you typed here in this particular cell, it looks like your email address has moved into column E. You see that there? I'll tell you that it hasn't, but it looks like it. And it's a similar problem to what's going on here in D1, where my email address got cut off. Really what's happening here is that first, this column is just not wide enough. It's this much space for this much text. All right, so we have to do a couple of things. Really, what we really want to do is resize the column so that it's a little bit wider. All right, how do we do that? Pretty easy. You see up here at the top of your spreadsheet, you have the different column headings, A, B, C, D, E, right? If I want to make this column wider, take your mouse and hover over in between the labels for D and E, column D and E, and you see that your cursor turns to those arrows there. Now I can take this and literally just drag it to however wide I need it to be. And so you can resize the columns that way. I'll do the same thing here for the address. My address gets cut off. I'm going to resize it until I can see everything. And I'll do the same thing here for my name. All right, so if you want to resize a column, you can just grab the border between the two column headings and resize it this way. Okay. You can also size it down. I don't need this to be quite as wide, so we can just make this. We can clean this spreadsheet up a little bit. All right. So you go like that. Right. Same works for rows, by the way. If you want to make the row a little taller, we can grab the border right here between 2 and 3, and we can make the whole column taller if you needed to for some reason. Right. So resizing columns and being able to really work horizontally in the spreadsheet here, and just working around the spreadsheet using the tab and enter keys. Right, some really good solid stuff there. Okay. So what I'd like you to do tonight, if you haven't already done so, I would like you first, if your spreadsheet looks kind of like mine here, I would like you to not have the data go vertically, but I'd like you to have the data go horizontally. So first thing to fix. Secondly, can you resize your columns so that we can see all of your information, right? So nothing gets cut off if you want to do that. And third, can you add 2 other students to your spreadsheet? You can make them up. You can be totally fictitious here. I started a fake student here, or call a friend. But I'd like you to have at least 3 students in your spreadsheet before you come to class tomorrow, so we can maybe talk a little bit about it and continue to do some more format changing here on your spreadsheet. Okay. I will post those simple directions on Classroom just so you have a checklist to work with. But that's kind of what I was probably going to be able to get to in class today. And then play with this tonight, and then we'll maybe continue going a little bit more tomorrow.